We are live.
Hello.
Hey, Coach.
Who are you today?
Teeny tiny little fish swimming at the bottom of the sea.
Weren't we just talking about how terrifying the ocean was? Or was that somebody else?
That was like a couple episodes ago, I feel like, but it remains true. I made this GIF.
Oh yeah, nice. I showed that to Sam.
Oh really? Did I send it to you?
You sent me the whole video.
Oh yeah.
For audio people, it's Brian, it's young salmon in full armor, just punching a dude in the face with his left gauntlet.
A very shitty libertarian, which I'm not like. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know that much about politics or whatever, but he's just a bad person.
I feel like there's libertarian, like, there's libertarian politics, and then there's like a type of personality where you're a libertarian.
Yeah, like don't tread on me. American flag, wears a gun on his hip, doesn't put it away in a safe place. Like,
asked you if you know how you know how to use a longsword, and then you punch him in the face.
Yeah. So the story goes. We got people already. What's up, Herm Bros and Jeffy? What's happening? How are y'all?
How are you guys? Thanks for the compliment on the kickflip.
Yeah, good kickflip.
Struggled for that one. That same dude though that you punched in the face in a medieval, fully armored fighting context in a spar. He was when I was there. He was talking about how he had to kill one of his pigs soon.
That's wild. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't remember why, but he was just telling that cool dude, Christian maybe?
Yeah, Christian.
Yeah.
He's cool.
He was just like, yeah, I gotta kill one of my pigs soon.
Yeah, he says the wildest shit. Like, he is very disrespectful towards women. He said something. Somebody asked him if, like, after this, he was about to leave, and somebody asked if he was staying, and he was like, "Nah, my wife's a bitch. I gotta go home." And she gets pissed if I don't go home and fuck her.
What?
And I was like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean? Like, don't say shit like that.
I was like, I thought it was funny just in the classic shitty dude.
Like,
the first
calling
half of that
your
sentence,
wife a bitch?
Yeah. Oh, the old lady is she's always on my case. I'm in the doghouse. But, like,
yeah. It was like,
kind of took it.
It was like that, like misogyny, and then it was like turbo misogyny. Make everybody in the gym feel weird.
The record scratch.
Yeah. But anyway, the story goes, I'm skilled at the long sword at the gym for the most part, and this guy walks up to me who I really don't like, and he asked me like, "Do you know how to use the long sword?" As if like he's like gonna mansplain me the long sword, and I was delighted, and then I beat him, like, I'm the one punching in the clip.
Oh, he's absolutely the Green Knight.
I whooped his ass up and down the octagon. And afterwards, he asked somebody, he's like, well, like, so, was it a close match or whatever? And the guy was like, no. And I was just, like, the meme where some, like, the frog's drinking the tea, and he's like, none of my business or whatever. That's funny. But anyway, Salt King, hello. Thank you for suggesting that my haircut looks like a Shrek haircut. Because it definitely does.
We really just went off for like 3 minutes about some random dude that nobody knows.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, that's cool.
Yeah,
I'm fired up.
Yeah, it's a good way to jump in the pool of Yarwa.
Yeah.
Bald look is nice. Thank you.
More aerodynamic.
We have a light shining at us that makes me look particularly ghost-like.
Oh, shall we
No, it's fine.
do something?
No, it's good. It feels really good. It's nice. Makes me look more professional.
He's doing it so his baby won't get scared. It'll see someone that looks just like it.
Yeah. Speaking of baby, I will have a baby next week.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Wild.
What day?
They're gonna induce her on Thursday.
Okay. You know what I was thinking, right?
Thinking about whether or not we could do the podcast.
Just making sure we're gonna be there.
Yeah.
For the squad.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Are you in terror?
No.
Because I think I would be.
I'm chilling. I'm excited. Oh, dude, Hermbro says he won a longsword tournament a couple weeks ago. On Hema, hell yeah. But I felt like fucking Nayor afterwards. Yeah.
That's badass.
It said, Druid says, congratulations on manifesting an entity from the outside into this world. Yeah. I called upon a Jockly. Whooped him. That's cool. I forgot that you do Hema. That's what's up, Hermbro.
What's that stand for?
I don't actually know what it stands for. It's like a different kind of combat. I don't...
Hermeneutic evolution of masculine arts.
Yeah. And Hermbros, thanks for the congrats. I'm stoked. I'll show you all the baby whenever they're around. Yeah, the No God. I hope that the baby's the No God. That would be pretty chill.
Now Coyote the second.
Would that make me a Skilvendi or an Anasarimber? And I guess
Anasarimber.
Yeah. Fuck.
Or maybe Siswatha's bloodline.
Yeah. I like Siswatha.
Yeah. We got him in this.
Yeah, we
scenario.
got this is a great chapter.
Oh,
chapter 15. No. Yeah, 15.
I am Hassas today.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a dress, basically.
Yeah.
And I highlighted the section, but I can't remember. Oh, a white linen gown creasing along buttocks and open along the side, gracing a stranger with a glimpse of bare hip and right breast.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
The one that Esmondite wears.
Yeah, but I think we were talking about left boob theory last week.
Oh, yeah. Do my dissertation on left boob theory.
What was the other one? Muscle theory?
Muscle theory, yeah. Oh, yeah, we gotta ask what everybody is. Druid says today, how do you pronounce that? Nanaferis? Magic period blood?
Yeah, Satman Nanaferis.
Yeah, Satman Nanaferis. I love that shit. Jeff's, what did he say? He said, you'll feel the terror seeing that grayish pink bundle of joy. Yeah, I bet. I'm excited. They're big, baby.
Oh, yeah. It's supposed to be a thick one.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, the baby's like gonna be like 9.5 or 10 pounds and already has hair.
Like
it's
a
tight.
Full mane.
Full black mane, Skilvendi style.
Yeah.
Kelprun says, I'm an aging slave's darkened armpit. Hell yeah, and howdy ring thing. We got a little Dr. Puffin things. I'm only on chapter 10 of my reread, but I'm catching up. Okay, reread.
Smoke it.
Super spoiler heavy discussion, but if you've already read it, then it's probably pretty chill.
Jeff says the first couple minutes when the baby comes out, you watch their skin change color. Yeah, no blue babies.
So wild. Nothing is less immersion breaking than seeing the inside of somebody's body. You know, like the veneer of civilization and our humanity, that like the separation from the animal world that we perceive is like cut in half when you're looking into the gaping maw of a meat sack.
Dude, I know, and I'm here just raging about the bureaucracy of my car title.
Yeah.
I would rather, well, I'm not sure I'd rather stare into gaping maws, but I would much rather be on that visceral, I don't know, heathen side of things.
Yeah.
Feral.
Yeah. Well, welcome, Dr. Puffin Things. I'm glad that you're here. It's awesome. I'm glad everybody's here. Shall we start the chapter? Chapter 14?
Yeah.
Is 15? It 14 or 15? I'm tripping. It's 15.
15. Part 5, The Holy War. Chapter
Yeah.
15, Malmum.
You want to take it away?
Sure. Many have condemned those who joined the Holy War for mercenary reasons, and doubtless, should this humble history find its way into their idle libraries, they will blast me as well. Admittedly, my reasons for joining the Holy War were mercenary, if by that one means I joined it in order to procure ends outside of the destruction of the heathen and the reconquest of Shima. But there were a great many mercenaries such as myself, and like myself, they inadvertently furthered the Holy War by killing their fair share of heathen, The failure of the Holy War had nothing to do with us. Did I say failure? Perhaps transformation would be a better word. Drusus Acamian, Compendium of the First Holy War.
Very good. I'll catch the next one. So this is from Agensis, the fourth analytic of man. It says, faith is the truth of passion. Since no passion is more true than another, faith is the truth of nothing.
The truth of nothing.
I like that.
The prince of truthiness.
I pretty much am down with that statement from Agensis.
Yeah, and what's funny is Proyas quotes 2/3 of it later, and like, I think really misses the point.
Yeah. Yeah, there's such good Proyas stuff, character development. I feel like I get to know him a lot more and start to see his boyishness. I feel like many of the characters have such a dichotomous identity. Like they want to be one way and they kind of are, but they're also this vastly different part that they don't want to be or are running from. Proyas in particular there's many moments where he's commanding the room and like everyone is like, okay, following Proyas because he's in charge. But then he has these moments of being just like little Proscia who's like kind of scared and in a world that he can't control. But anyway,
I thought he was just a petulant little shit almost the entire chapter, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of sympathy for him.
Okay, interesting, yeah.
Which is fine, but yeah. I wanted to point out in the beginning, the two quotes were definitely some of the easier ones to interpret. Mm-hmm. And I just noticed that, like, I think to Kellis and Moengus, and Maithanet, I guess, all the Nasser Embers, the Holy War was never transformed. It was like they directed it to their exact desired ends, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I guess it was under the guise of it being a holy war, and a lot more happened over that, but the way that it's written is Acamian suggesting that its impact reached farther than just a religious socio-political conflict, you know? Yeah, and I wonder if he thinks that Kellis hijacked it, or if he put together that it really was like his plan the entire time or not. Because they don't get to talk about it after like the coronation at the very end of these first three books. Yeah. True,
yeah. They split ways pretty quick.
That's it.
Yeah, that's good. So we're in Moem. It is it's spring. 4,111 year of the Tusk. And then it starts off with Zynemus muttering to Acamian, be formal, be cautious, he's seeing you only to shut me up, nothing more. So this is Acamian and Proyas meeting for the first time at the Holy War.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's like taking him in a super formal, structured, dynamic, I don't know, like hierarchical context, which is whack to me because he was his like close childhood tutor, you know, and he basically shows him very little respect because of his religious beliefs.
Yeah.
That I feel like he is just kind of clinging to try to find meaning or purpose in his life. I like Proyas in general, like Druid and Kelpfron both mentioned Proyas real quick. Everything Proyas related makes me kind of depressed after finishing the Unholy Consult. Rip. Absolutely.
Yep.
And Kelpfron said that never suspected Proyas' storyline would get so insane.
True.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess this is the beginning of it, where you talked about the dichotomous something.
I don't even know if I used the word correctly.
I think so. Like a black or white?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he starts out as super black and white, like he acts as if he knows exactly what is right and what is wrong. And there's some good line that we'll probably get to, but purity, men mistake purity for, or men mistake, like, I don't know, rudeness for purity or something like that. Being an asshole for, like,
piety,
Yeah.
purity.
Something like that. I should probably leave the author to the writing, but yeah. A commune frowns. He goes, "How times have changed, eh, Zin? You yielded too much influence over him as a child, Akka, left too deep a mark. Zealous men often confuse purity with intolerance, particularly when they're young." So if I would have looked down, I would have seen that line immediately after, but I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that too.
That's how I feel about the people that proclaim themselves to be the most pure and holy in our society.
Just they're the most intolerant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the ones that are tolerant don't claim to be pure or better.
Right.
They don't.
That's a very good point, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I think you could probably like make a gradient of who's more quote unquote pure and less pure, but like the people that are the most pure don't go shoving their pure phalluses in other people's faces.
Greased.
Yeah.
Greased shrinkholes.
Yeah, they're marbled, I don't know.
Something.
Greek classical marble chiseled phalluses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with it. We got some chat. Druid says, "Yes, I love it, but I feel so bad for him and the more sane members, if there were any by the end, beyond him, of the great ordeal." Yeah, I feel a lot of sympathy for them. Men, and then he says, "Men mistake corruption as the proof of purity, question mark." Kellis said something similar to that after Nair kills the thing called Sarcellus under the circumference, question mark. I have no idea.
I bet you're right. I mean,
you're probably right.
It'll be cool to get there. Hopefully I remember that you mentioned it.
Yeah. Well, so their meeting doesn't really go well. Proyas is kind of terse, right? Terse is a word.
Yeah.
He's a little terse. They kind of go back and forth. At one point, Proyas says, "Rise, schoolmen, take a cushion by my hearth. I won't ask you to kiss my knee."
What a nice gesture.
Very nice
I'm not going to ask you to suck my dick today.
Yeah.
But I could make other people suck it if I wanted to.
And Akamian points out that at this time, Proyas is encouraging his men to raid villages and shit, to like raid people's stocks and stuff because they're not signing the indenture. Thus, they don't really have enough food to do anything besides just barely survive.
Yeah, it says the emperor closed his granaries only when... Basically, the emperor gave us... What he gave us was a pittance, enough to prevent riots, enough to control us, not a grain more. So they had to start looting people, looting and raiding to be able to actually feed their armies.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if they would have stuck to just eating the, like... paltry grain that they were allotted, it would have become really weak, which would have worked to Zarias' ends also. Mm-hmm. Pretty well constructed plan, I think.
Yeah.
At least this far.
Zarias' plan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
He had not calculated for a Nair to pop in.
Yeah.
But no one had.
Yeah.
He was just lying down pretending to be dead for hours and hours and hours.
It's very good. So they continue to talk. There's one point where Proyas says, Akamian says to Proyas, "I would merely remind you, my prince, that when we are most certain to be deceived." I think that falls in line with some of the theme of purity and piety and intolerance.
Mm-hmm. And faith.
And so it's just some good foreshadowing that they're all going to be deceived, including Akamian. So, I mean, and one of the things that Akamian is certain about is that the prophecy is upon him, and that, everything that's happening, everything that the mandate has worried about happening is happening. He's certain of that, but thus he is deceived by the Kellis.
Absolutely. It says, Proyas is mocking, this is Akamian's thought. One of Akamian's thoughts during this whole thing, Proyas has to tolerate Akamian to a degree because his dad signed some sort of agreement with the school, the mandate, to like allow them to chill, be acquaintances, but they can still be dicks to him. and a commune thinks of his role as, or at least thinks to himself, he had to do what every mandate agent did: populate the unknown with ancient threats and seed the future with past catastrophes in a world that was already terrifying. It's like hard, probably a hard job to carry out.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the Bene Gesserit in Dune,
Mm-hmm.
where they have the, what's it called? I wrote it down. Missionaria Protectiva, which is where they, years and years ago, they went and gave basically like stories, religious stories to all sorts of different planets in case that some Bene Gesserit got stuck there or ended up there, so that their kind could easily like take control of the population.
Mm-hmm.
Or like in book 1 of Dune, for instance, it's basically so they think Paul is the Messiah.
Yeah.
That was like a really long, like a long-term plan that was seeded years and years ago. Made me think that's what a commune kind of does, except for it's like in the opposite way, where he's just like trying to warn that everything's gonna get fucked up, and like, I don't know, there's no hope in believing in that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't see the advantage in believing in that
Yeah.
with no evidence.
Right.
Yeah.
It is pretty wild that the mandate has lasted this long,
Mm-hmm.
being all crackpotted out.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I don't know many things that have lasted this long in our culture.
Yeah. That
2,000 years.
purely based on paranoia, seemingly from the outside.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I don't know. There's probably some. Maybe Chad can fill in on that. And then Jeff points out that I think referring to the denial of food that Zarias is doing, says that it happened in real life in the Fourth Holy War. The Christians sacked their own cities to prepare for war. Very interesting. I love the history.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds like the Dead Kennedys song Riot, which is about rioting but destroying like your own neighborhood, and not like all your communities, like stores and businesses and stuff.
Yeah, and then also Druid points out that doubt and certainty are also very prevalent themes in the book. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think this might be the third time I've gushed over it, but I love a commune's theme of doubt, or advocacy for the concept of doubt. Keltfron said Bakker's version of the Missionaria Protectiva is when the Incoroi sneak the command to kill the non-men into the Tusk. That is dead-ass accurate.
Yeah, that's spot on. That's a real alpha gamer point.
4D chess Comstain.
Alright, what else has happened? They kind of just talk. We learned that there's been a massacre of innocents. Galio's troops under our boy Coithus Saban cut down the inhabitants of an entire village near Pasna. Of course, Saban is up to no good.
The Lion of Cayuth.
The Lion of Cayuth is out there just murdering innocent people, taking their food. But we also learned that during this time, Proyas is defying Maithanet. He has indeed forbidden these raids. And then it says, a commune could scarce conceal his jubilation. It's like when you're super stoked when you know that your friend is full of shit and they like can't. They're like on the cusp of having to admit that they're full of shit. It's a very smug place to be. I love it. I love how petty they both are back and forth. But where you say that you kind of had a hard time sympathizing with Proyas in this one, or feeling like he's a brat, I kind of feel like I just connect with Proyas here. It just bums me out. They're both, Akami and Proyas are such wounded people, and wounded in similar ways, that it's like their interactions are, one person is reaching out to the other and the other one's holding back, and then the vice versa. It just happens back and forth. It's like they both want to be connected with one another, but are too afraid or scared or full of shit.
I don't see Proyas really reaching out to Akamian very much in this, though.
Really?
Other than at the very end, he ends up I mean, not even in this chapter, but Akamian asked him if he can ask Maithanet about Inrao, and he eventually does. He definitely has feelings for Akamian still, and affection, but I just got the feeling he was trying to act a hard ass or act pious Proyas this chapter. But I will say, I did listen to the audio version before I went back and started highlighting shit today, and so the performance could definitely skew my my perception.
Oh, true. Yeah, the voice and stuff.
And specifically, I don't remember how Proyas sounds in other chapters, but specifically this chapter, I really felt like the narrator sounded like the Compass voice too, which is all smarmy and you know, you like want to dislike him. So that like well, I don't know. I'm trying to see my blind spots, the darkness that came before my disgruntlement. Yeah.
No, that makes sense. And I don't think that Proyas deliberately reaches out and asks for help or asks for connection or anything, but it's almost the inverse of that. Like, he's trying so hard to seem like he knows what's going on, and he just is like overtly trying really, really hard, where maybe someone that is actually in power or actually experienced and in control doesn't actually have to try that hard.
Yeah.
Their presence just commands. Like, for an example, Nader just walks into a room and everyone is like, and they're like, how many Swazon does he have? Like, oh my god, 1 million! Yeah, I lost count. But because of the proximity of Proyas and Akamian, like, even the fact that he allows Akamian into the room, and the fact that he says, I never want to see you again, and then immediately invites him back, it's just like, it's like a father figure to him.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you on that. I think there's a lot of, like you said, just like the things that aren't said or the ways that he's acting show the deficit of like the love or the adoration that he has.
Yeah. And he's a brat.
Yeah, he's being bratty, but like you mentioned, just him trying to... That's how I think of Proyas, the whole series, is just that it's really Linkin Park-esque, you know?
Tried so hard.
Yeah, and he got so far, and then he just ended up getting fucking literally hung out to dry.
Yeah. Get straight up.
Unfortunate.
Clipped.
Yeah.
Not good.
It's like the Nutty Putty Cave scenario.
I don't know what that is.
Were we talking about that on here? The guy got stuck in a cave.
Oh,
upside down,
yeah.
and his insides caused, like, the weight of his being upside down caused him to have a heart attack because all of his, the weight of his guts shifted.
Didn't they pour a bunch of cement on him or something?
Yeah.
They couldn't get him?
Yeah. I mean, but after he died.
Yeah.
They weren't just like...
There's a guy in here. Pour cement on him.
Playing taps, and they're just like the... It's so rough.
That's amazing. Oh, and then Druid mentions Proyas is indeed a brat, but he was never in a position to be anything other than that until meeting Kellis. Very interesting. That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah, he was, I think is a term like the petty lords of, you know, as I guess as opposed to big lords or kings or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, there's some double, whatever, play on words with that maybe.
Yeah.
Petty and petty.
Yeah, I get that.
Tall.
And then Jeff says, Proyas is enjoying his noble caste level above 99%. Everyone, he's getting off on the fact that he can tell his teacher to shut up. Oh, yeah. And then Kelpfron says, of course, Akka really is an unclean blasphemer. True. Yeah.
There's, like, another description of his morning apocalypse. Not the shitting part, but just that he's, like... prickly or something.
He's hungover.
Yeah,
he's really prickly in the morning.
Yeah,
which is another indication of how intimately they know one another. I don't know. It's like one of my Discord friends that I play WoW with like every night knows all of my moods. Just because we spend so much time together. I think the chat's.
Is it based on how many orcs you slaughter?
Probably. Yeah, and then Jeff says, imagine being the manager to your high school teacher at a Burger King type of deal. Yeah, it makes me really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's a brutal thing to think about.
Yep. Inflation, man. Second jobs in this economy.
Second jobs. Walter White in this piece.
Oh yeah.
Car wash.
He does maybe the best nut grab in the history of media.
Oh, dude, it's iconic. Yeah. It's like primate nut grab. I hate that scene.
Oh man, I love it.
Oh, brutal.
It's cathartic to me. I've never been in that position, but it gets me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to do a fucking podcast about Breaking Bad. I have a lot to say about that.
Breaking Good.
Breaking Good.
Some terrible pun also.
It would be harder to do analysis over film and TV or whatever than books, I feel like. Because I was watching The Sopranos earlier and trying to just like pay attention to the cinematography and just the themes and stuff, and it's hard to keep it all on track. But anyway, speaking of keeping things in track, blah, blah, blah. They're just chatting. They're hanging out. Is there like a main point to their first conversation?
I think you could make an argument, by which I mean I'm going to try to posit one. Mm-hmm. A commune is like, well, what about Masonette might be working for the consult, or things might not be what they seem, right? Mm-hmm. And then they argue about doubt, and also we learned that the phrase "the rub" exists in this world. Mm-hmm. Here's the rub.
Oh yeah.
And this brings us to the rub now, which the rub is the difference between knowing and feeling, between knowledge and faith. Then Proyas chugs some wine, and there's a good line I want to try to use somehow in conversation. Proyas to Kamian, I remember you asking about the god once many years ago. Do you remember what you said? Kamian did not remember, and Proyas said, I've heard many rumors, but I've never met the man. Do you remember? Do you remember how I capered and laughed? And I thought that was a good line.
It's a good line.
Yeah. Not gonna make some good friends. Not gonna make the friends that I would like to use that in conversation with, though.
Yeah.
But they keep chatting. There's a lot of chatting, and they cover different ground in every paragraph, but I feel like a lot of it is fractal or like reciprocal to just reinforce the themes or the thought. Like, I guess they're not making any progress with each other, so maybe that's why it's very repetitive. But here's Proyas quoting, like I called it, 2/3 of the beginning from the Fourth Analytic of Man. Faith is the truth of passion, Akamian, and no passion is more true than another. And then he basically goes on to say there can be no discourse between us. And yeah, I think it's hard for Akamian to get his point across, like, to anyone. There might be like a mythical ancient alien race coming to destroy the world, but I don't know. It just comes off like Proyas doesn't see that his own faith is just as fallible as Akamian's faith, which he brutally realizes in the second series of books. Getting raped by the living godhead, the aspect god. Emperor. Yeah.
Oof. No bueno.
Nope.
It makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I don't know. That's what I was getting from this. And you mentioned it already, but he does go, I don't want to see you again ever.
Do you understand?
And then Kamian thinks no to himself.
They're both so petulant.
Yeah, but Kamian's like, well, fine.
Yeah.
So be it.
But then he does ask, like you mentioned, one thing. Mathanet, perhaps you alone he trusts. Simply ask him about a young priest, Paro Inrao. So he asks, please, if you can do one thing, ask about Inrao. And then later...
It's like breakup sex.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's literal... No,
I don't understand, actually.
Oh. Just, I don't know. One more thing before we part ways forever, and our love is dead.
Well, and just like that, Kamian thinks to himself, all of my students are dead. He's so dramatic.
I know.
I mean, like, it's sad, but he's really dramatic.
Yeah.
That's a book.
He calls someone that he lost ideologically dead, too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it seems like he gave up. I want to say quickly, but I don't know. I guess I've never tried to really work to change someone's mind that hard before.
Yeah, neither have I. It's so exhausting.
Yeah.
Druid says that this letter about In-Round does so much for the plot, yet I completely missed it.
I missed it maybe the first 2 times, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then this third time that I read it, I was like, or I don't know, the second or third time after I missed it before, it caught my eye and I was like, oh wow, like whatever the opposite of a hit is, like in a gang, protection order.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Masonette puts that out for a commune and doesn't explain why at all, which is cool.
Mm-hmm. It is cool. Boss move.
Yeah. It's like
Dunian move.
Wasn't Trump trying to give out like preemptive pardons or something?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of sick. I mean, if you had one, that'd be diplomatic immunity, dude.
Diplomatic immunity.
That's how I don't have to register my car.
Yeah.
I marry a diplomat.
Get a bucket of water and say you're in international waters or something.
Does that work?
I don't know.
Go to the ocean?
In Texas, it probably does. Is there anybody from Texas in chat? I bet they know something about... I don't know. Anyway. Afterwards, Proyas talks to Zynemus, which is always fun. He asks Zynemus, or he says, you disapprove. What is it this time, the tactics or the proprieties? And Zynemus says, both. And then he says, Zynemus says, ask yourself, Proyas. For once, set scripture aside and truly ask yourself whether the feeling within your breast, now, at this very moment, is wicked or righteous. And then there's a pause, and Proyas says, but I feel nothing. This is a very dope passage. I think it's good commentary on how faith affects people, and like true like zealotry or extremism or something. Faith almost feels for you, I thought. Like, with enough faith, you don't have to trust yourself. You could just trust the external God or whatever. Like, well, this says this, so I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
But Zynemus has the wisdom of asking himself, like, what is actually like in your breast? What does it feel like? These decisions that you're making, the situation you're in, does it actually feel good? Because I mean, in my personal experience, like, it's like the gut reaction or your heart or whatever knows what's up. But if you are so blinded by faith, you don't have to feel anything if you don't want to. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. I fully agree with you, but I think that I interpreted this differently. I got that I think that Proyas wants to believe more than he actually believes. Like, he's trying to will himself into faith.
Like, overcompensating, or... I think I know what you mean.
Like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Maybe I just, like, projected onto it, how I was feeling, but... It's kind of like how I see him as somebody who always wants to try to do the right thing, but, like, I don't know, is trying too hard, is, like, over-eager, overzealous, or it doesn't work out, like, no matter what he does.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he doesn't actually feel what is, like, the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But he's trying to, like, tell himself his faith will show the way.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just, like, empty inside.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool to feel so confident in your faith that you are trusting and don't have to worry and stuff.
It'd be chill, yeah.
Yeah, that's not my life experience.
Mm-hmm. No. There are, yeah. Sam and I joke about that. Like, I wish we could just be, like, vehemently Christian. Just like, I'm Christian. I believe in God. Everything's all good. I'm saved. No worries. Instead, I'm just a worrying goose.
Yeah. In this world, too, even the people that are the most religious are unsure about their souls as well. Well,
in Iarwa?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Like, more than our world, I'd say.
Yeah, they're like constantly talking about their souls.
There's no clear set of guidelines of like what good things you can do.
Mm-hmm.
At least that I remember being mentioned. Just that there's only like some sins. There's not a nice like 10 Commandments though, like we have. But yeah. But then at the end of the second series, doesn't it basically turn out that it's like just kind of random?
Yeah, it's just
or
like all
unclear.
hell, basically.
Yeah,
in some ways.
And the only people, it's just like your capricious God's decision if he wants to like save like 2 people, which is like Esmned and Mymara, for reasons we can't understand. I mean, I think it makes sense in their world. I like it a lot that we can't understand the gods.
Yeah.
But because I don't like how in our world God is gonna send you to hell because he's caught you specifically masturbating,
right, out
of 7 billion people. But maybe you shouldn't do it so much, and then you'd have less chances of being caught, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm the jerker-offer because I didn't impregnate another human being.
Like who? Like me?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I jerk off, though.
Nice.
Jerker-offer. We got a bunch of chat going on. Let's see. So... yeah, Herm points out that you can lie to yourself effortlessly and without guilt with faith. And Druid says faith consumes all the gods, being demons, gorging on souls, reinforces this theme. Yes, I agree. And then Herm says not even without guilt, but the lies can be reinforced by faith. It's nuts. Yeah, it's very powerful. I mean, it's the driving force behind the Holy War, and it is like a weapon that Kellis wields so effortlessly.
True, and it's a community thing. I guess it's a personal thing because everyone has their own soul that they're supposed to be responsible for, but with it being like an echo chamber or everyone patting each other on the back kind of thing, even for like them being holy or making excuses that for the fucked up shit they're doing because they're the righteous, like, I think that makes sense that you don't have to just only go on how you feel about yourself. You have a lot of other people to validate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll read some. Druid says, overcompensating is a good way to describe him. Him being taught by a sorcerer and his family having an agreement with the mandate must put immense pressure on him to be holy just so he can distance himself from the damned. Yeah, that's true. Maybe it's an acceptance thing. Well, I mean, it is for sure, because I don't know. I just wonder why he decided to go the holy zealot route.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know.
It's the route of a very traumatized person. Can be. I mean, it can be it can be a balm to the terrible sadness.
Yeah. Hermbros mentions that he wishes he could have a true supernatural experience and just be like, I'm saved, and do not give a fuck after that. I feel you. Druid says, I had a similar experience on shrooms and acid in college. Felt like divine intervention telling myself to clean up or rot from within.
Yeah.
Sounds powerful. It sounds terrifying to me.
It does. Yeah. And then Jeff said earlier he wants to be their version of a modern man.
Prius? Just like, he's hip.
Gillette.
Gillette?
I feel like Gillette has like a man's man kind of vibe.
I was just started thinking of a church, like the youth pastor. You gotta be like a cool pastor.
Oh yeah, my youth pastor wears jeans. Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, dude, so, you know how I told you that one bad news story right before we went on?
Yeah.
Well, I made the mistake of reading the news for like 5 minutes today.
Oof.
And it was pretty brutal, but...
It's fucking savage.
Yeah. No matter, like, which way which type of bias your news site has. It's just all fear. Like, everything's like fear and chaos.
Oh, dude, totally.
But there's this one church that made, they did a play. They did a version of Hamilton, but they made it anti-gay.
Oh, God.
And they're getting in trouble right now. I think they're going to get sued for copyright infringement or something.
Dang. That play is very problematic in its own right. Yeah, dude, people be wild.
I just thought it was funny. I didn't know why they'd want, like, all these, I don't know, do this play by all these big city liberals, you know?
Mm-hmm. Big city liberals. Well, let's get going a little bit. A comedian is dreaming. He's dreaming and kicking his legs like a golden retriever chasing a rabbit. And he's talking. He does the vibe, the whole like Seswatha situation. And he says, Kelmoma says, "Did I ever tell you," his voice cracking with heartbroken pride, "that my son once stole into the deepest pits of Golgotha?" I just feel like that's a line that is repeated a lot that I like. And then towards the end, Kelmomus, the High King, says of his son, he's talking about his son, he says such sweet things to give me comfort. He says that one of my seed will return, Seswatha, and Anasarimber will return. The High King winced and shuddered. Spittle hissed through his clenched teeth. At the end of the world. So, I thought this was cool. One, it's the prophecy, which we kind of already heard before, but it's good to hear it again.
Yep.
Akamian, whenever he sees Kellis at the end of the chapter, assumes that this is that Anasarimber, right?
Yeah.
But we know... Okay, so at the end of the book... Okay, so this made me think, what if Kellis isn't really like the one that Seswatha is talking about? It's Kelmomus at the end of the world. There's an Anasarimber who like literally does... That's the end of the world, like the last hour of the world.
Not like someone will come and kind of save the world.
Yeah, like 10 years before the end of the world. It's like 5 minutes before the end of the world.
Yeah.
Kelmomus is like this tiny little cretin crawling into the no gods Gussie.
Yeah. I mean, it could be... How many Anasarimbers are currently alive at the end of the series? Like...
Kind of a lot.
A handful.
A handful.
So there's, like, on paper there's that many possibilities, right? But yeah, little evil baby Kelmomus, I think, definitely...
I love him.
He's cool. He's like, I don't know, problem child or something. He's like wretched.
Black sheep.
Yeah. No, for sure. I probably said this the last time this prophecy section came up many chapters ago, but just what it says, like, another one of my kind will return at the end of the world. I think that, hopefully it's not just me, but I expected that to be that it will come and save the world.
Yeah.
Because that's how tropes work and, like, you know, heroic stories work.
I think that's the irony that I think that's ironic because, yes, I mean, that is kind of the assumption, and that's what I assumed and can easily be assumed to be the case. A comedian thinks that. But it's just kind of a fun, like, actually, it's bad news.
Oh, yeah.
It's, like, actually not a good thing.
I like that. I buy in with that interpretation a lot more now.
It's a little tease.
Yeah. Little feathery tickle on your pendulous phallus, curving. Yeah, we probably read almost this word for word the last time they printed it. I didn't compare it to see how much was different, but, I mean, the dialogue is all the same, I believe. But I liked rereading this section. There's a bunch of different things I pointed out. Do you care if I mention some?
Yeah.
Well, Seswatha is like, "No, Kelmomus, you can't die. If you die, all is lost," which is funny because, like, after this, the dude, I think he's a king, Anaxophis, gets the heron spear and lasers the fucking no-god out of the sky, so all was not lost.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good, man.
And, yeah. What was other than that? He can hear Kelmomus says he can hear the gods galloping across the sky, hearing them cry out to him. it made me think that what if it's actually the no god that's galloping across the sky? Because
or all the non-men on their chariots.
Oh, true. Could be the squad of evil non-men fighting for the consult. Or I wrote even Kellis galloping across the sky because he can teleport. I thought of that as kind of bouncing around.
Yeah.
Just trying to reinterpret a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
I was wondering why, what Kelmomus would have done to make him want to apologize to Siswatha for so much.
Right.
He's like, I see so clearly what a bitter, stubborn fool I have been. Can you forgive such a foolish man? And Siswatha's, there's nothing to forgive, Kelmomus. Just like, yeah, what is he apologizing for? Then he goes into the thing we laughed about last time where he was like, did you know that my son, you know that guy, my son, did you ever know that he snuck into the Ark? And it's like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
No. Yeah, I remember. I wasn't there.
Right.
It wasn't me and him. And Kelmomus also continues, I see him talking about his son so clearly. He's taken the sun as his charger and he rides among us. I see him galloping through the hearts of my people, stirring them to wonder and fury. And like, he's the no god right now. So, I don't know, taking the sun as his charger, I was wondering if it's poetic, like he's blacked out the sun with the whirlwinds, storm. He rides among us, like, yeah, he's the largest entity, largest sentient entity. You can see him galloping through the hearts of my people, stirring them to wonder and fury. If you want to be generous, that's basically just eviscerating anyone in sight. But yeah, that was what I was looking at. Maybe just how things might be a little double meaning, or like why he's so wrong about stuff too.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a product of some of his faith. I've heard this idea that like the hallucinations that people see are culturally defined. So like we see aliens now, and I mean we see ghosts still too, but like people didn't really see space aliens until we had the technology to go to outer space and stuff like that.
We saw like angels and shit like that.
Yeah, or like the Thunderbird, like animals that could fly, but not like I don't know any legends. Maybe the Flying Dutchman ship, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think that's because of like a optical illusion on the ocean.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going on and on and on.
We've got some chat, and Druid says reading the news in a post-Trump era is just asking to be confused. Certainly. And Jeff says the cool youth pastor Niarwa is a warrior who kills heathen and knows what the gods want of him unquestionably. Yep.
Wouldn't it be so nice though? Like, I guess you just barely said this too, but if we knew exactly what we needed to do, like there's a checklist to salvation.
So that's the thing that in my experience, so faith and that coincide. It's like a momentary experience. Part of my spiritual practice or mindfulness practice or whatever right now is like kind of trying to be decidedly not religious or spiritual. It's more like deep listening, which Proyas is unable to do, and Zynemus points to is like, what does it actually feel like in your chest? Because I don't know, it's like the 11th step or something in 12 step. Like if I feel such doubt and confusion about what I need to do, if I just sit down and just stop trying to figure it out and just like the answer will like arise, because what it is it's my like authentic desire. Instead of what I think I need to do or what I'm worried about I needed to do, it's the desire, and then if I follow that, it usually is pretty chill.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I dig it. I just read the book The Alchemist again.
Mm-hmm.
I read it once a year, and I won't go on too long, but there's two little stones. One's called Urim and one's called Thummim. It's like a black stone and a white stone, and you can use them for divination, like help you make decisions, basically. Obvious, like black and white difference.
Yeah.
And the main character only uses them once to make a decision in the whole story, Because after he uses them once, he realizes, like, what decisions he needs to make and, like, what he wants to do and what paths he wants to follow. Yeah. Sometimes I'll literally flip a coin if I can't make a decision on something, but usually, like, while I'm flipping it, I realize what I actually want to do, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But shout out youth pastors. Jeff says, why does Kelmomus tell Saswatha that he went with now Coyote? Wait, does he say that he was in there this time?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I might be misreading your question. Just says, did I ever tell you that my son once stole into the deepest pits of Golgotha? Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm not sure why he even mentions it this time. Just to say, like, my son is so brave and I love him for his bravery. Or is it for plot reasons that we readers will pick up on?
Yeah.
Druid says it might also be Moengus. He was the true harbinger, the first domino that led to Kellus and Kelmomus.
Yeah. I don't love Moengus Senior, but I like Little Skulvendi Moengus. But anyway, and then Kelp says Kellus is who Kelmomus sees in his vision in TGO. What's TGO again? Sorry.
The Great Ordeal.
Okay, yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh shit, really? You're blowing my mind.
Blowing my daggone mind. Yeah, I diverge? I don't fucking know. I think chat knows way more than me, absolutely. Probably.
Oh, for sure. I'm just taken aback.
Yeah. When Jeff says Americans love aliens, and it's true. I like aliens. And says humanity checklist reformulated. Now I just gotta raise my kids and I'm done. Repopulation. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that at the end of the day, that is the actual point of life.
Yeah.
It's like evolutionarily, it's like you just gotta keep it going. Keep that cycle of craving going.
Tell me when your kid is born if you feel like you have accomplished all that you need and you're fully enlightened.
I mean, I think it changes one's brain pretty significantly. I don't know, but we got to get going because we're already an hour in and we're not even close to being done with the chapter.
Well, Kellis definitely calls people chief.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, chief. Fuck you. So we're with Esmonette. Are you all right with going to Esmonette?
Yeah, she's just got her sauce, which is
she's a saucing it up.
She's a saucy lady.
This is my favorite part of the chapter, I believe. Esmonette's awesome. I have a greater respect for Esmonette this read. Like, I was disappointed in her the first time through because I just wanted her to be more of a powerful figure, but now I feel like I see her power more.
You're accepting her girl bossery?
Yeah. And,
she's trying to figure out who she is.
Yeah. She says she's no longer a prostitute, but she no longer knew what she was. Which is cool. It's a cool place to be. And what is she doing? She's like buying some garlic or something?
Yeah, I think it's the more so just like going to the market as an activity.
Just hanging out, yeah. Going to fuck a rando guard.
Sarcellus sends some body slave women to like be her consorts, but
yeah,
they don't
just
like
talk
her.
Shit.
Yeah,
they just talk smack about one another.
Yeah,
petulant.
Yeah, there's a lot of petulance going on. But yeah, she talks to this dude who's like, I got garlic I wintered very particularly. Something like that.
I love that.
Oh yes, he is a spice monger.
Well, and the spice monger like hits the shit out of the slaves because they're being like rude or something. And they scurry off, which Esmonette is kind of pleased about.
Yeah,
she feels annoyed at the slaves. But anyway, well, actually, she takes a threatening step forward towards the slaves after she says, go home. She says, I will beat your freckled ass, or beat your freckled ass home, slave, before I... And then the spice monger goes and hits the slave in the face. Spice monger.
Yeah.
He says, they go home now.
They go home now. I felt bad for the girl, but... it was interesting that Esminette was like relishing in her position of power now. Because like I think she was like a child sex slave or whatever they call it here, and we know later that she basically sold Maimara, literally sold Maimara into slavery to try to keep her alive as best she knew how. But she's kind of psyched that she can talk down to this girl.
Yeah, she digs it.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff says I lost the coin toss and my oldest daughter's middle name was gonna be Esminette. Dude, that'd be so chill. Nickname Esme. Honestly, I would be fucking stoked if Patricia would be down with naming her kid like Memara or something.
Did you throw any of those out there besides Protathis?
No. No, I didn't. I can't even get her to be down with naming, if we have a girl, naming her middle name Milton, which I think would be tight.
Oh yeah,
don't tell him that the characters are. Yeah, that's the thing. I've told Patricia like everything about these books, and she's just gonna say no to any name.
Just tell her it's from like The Sopranos.
Yeah,
it's from the Wire. It's just, I heard it's a really gritty show.
It's a very gritty show. White people love it.
So, yeah, they sure do. Why I thought it was a little shopping trip for fun is as Minette is thinking about how Sarcellus has spent so much time with her. Mm-hmm. In fact, that he was remarkably attentive and took her on many occasions here and there to the Camposaria Agora, to worship at the Kimrial, and spent an entire afternoon at the Temple of Zothe, laughing at domes.
It sounds fun.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little rom-com situation here. Yeah. Classic rom-com with the alien shapeshifter with black cum and the self-actualizing prostitute woman.
Yeah, all of that, just my favorite fucking thing about the Skin Spies, and I talk about this every time, is their like employee of the month like badge they must get for being like over the top and like immersive. Like Sarcellus could just be rich and give her money and stuff and like call it quits, but he like whisks her away to go look at that, and here's some jewels and blah blah blah. And later, whenever Sarcellus figures out that Esminette had sex with somebody else, he like does this whole spiel and gets all emotional, and it's like sweet, and I'm just like, dude, they love it. They love what they do.
I think they definitely love what they do. Do you think they have like improv classes?
I don't know.
They like practice acting together.
They're just fucking with it. They're down. Something about like having nothing to lose, maybe. And, you know, and you're so confident because you just don't give a fuck, and people are like, oh wow, this guy really knows what's going on.
Wonder if that's like like when you bring a gun to school and nobody knows you have a gun.
Oh jeez.
Probably shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, probably not.
No, but like when you have one over on somebody and you feel like I don't know, elite.
Yeah.
Superior.
Yeah.
Sorry about the other comment. Yeah, but I think before he has any emotional reaction, he gets all weird. Another Hassas mention. Mm-hmm. He basically, because he's a skin spy, you can smell that there's cum on her.
It's like a fucking mountain lion pissing on a rock. Another mountain lion smelling it.
Yeah, totally. I thought about, it mentioned just before that, Esminette, she could feel him run down her inner thigh, first hot, then cold, like a tear that runs to the chin, which, like a tear that runs to the chin was such a succinct description. I could totally picture that. Mm-hmm. But also in this book, Bakker always takes time to like give the cum like a story arc.
Yeah.
To like tell you what happened to each cum after it came.
I know. It's great, dude. I love the fucking consult so much. Well, and then, okay, so Jeff's got me super hyped because that's what I was thinking whenever I'm going to toot my horn, and I'm going to toot your horn, because they don't have anything to lose because they don't have a goddamn soul, says Jeff. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's true.
They're like the only truly free being because they're just they're unconditioned. They don't have to have a self-moving soul. They just vibe.
Damn.
It's a cool thing. It's a cool thought. Good shit.
Them and Shrek don't have souls, right?
I don't know. Do Shrek have souls? Because they vibe too, but not in the same way.
No, I would rather be a skin spy than a Shrek, but...
Skin spies are like... Yeah, I don't know. I'm a big fan.
It's like being invisible. You could do anything you wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Be whoever.
And smell all the glorious smells.
Yeah. So we kind of skipped over, but after the spice monger, or during and after, Esminette catches the eye of an Eothic, another guardsman who is also a skin spy, or no? It's
I don't
like
know.
we gotta consult chat on this, but Kelp says date night at Momum.
Really romantic.
And yeah, Skin Spy service is 10 out of 10, always, absolutely. 5 stars. Hermbro says, Sarcellus is a true romantic, what a great guy, until those feathers touch his nipples. Oh, yeah. And then Saltcake says it pays to be evil.
Kelfron, the feeling when no one knows you have fingers for a face. Do the face fingers give jobs?
Probably. You know, fucking Nayor is getting face fingered by his prize later on. And then Shrank do not have souls.
But they don't piggyback off society.
But Shrank don't get to piggyback off society. Yeah, it does seem like they suffer a little bit more than Skin Spies. Skin Spies seem to be on top of the world.
Elite.
Shrank have a different lifestyle. They're more numerous too.
I like lifestyle as if it's like a decision.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
Hermbros says, but they're still controlled by the feather stroking, like they have no soul but are still programmed, or am I wrong?
Yeah, that's what I don't understand, because it seems like they have such personality.
Yeah, I think that goes into what, maybe the philosophical question of what makes someone have a soul.
Yeah.
Is it desire? Is it passion? Because there's passion and desire without souls in this existence.
I feel like there's something in there about being unable to resist passion, or being unable to engage with passion in any other way than to become it. I feel like those with a soul could potentially fall victim to always becoming their passions, where someone maybe without a soul has the choice. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So the Incoroi could say no, they just choose not to.
Well, I think... God, dude, there's a fly in here and it makes me so mad. Oh my god, like, why is there a fly?
Perhaps we'll die.
Somebody says the Incoroi have them. Druid says only the Incoroi have souls.
Yeah, because they're trying to not get damned.
That's their whole vibe.
Sarcellus didn't get pleasure from humping Esminette. He got pleasure from thinking about skull fucking her.
Yeah.
So weird he woos her. LOL, still a great guy. Not even jealous she slept with another guy.
Yeah, he does this whole thing where he apologizes and...
Well, he lifts up her skirt like an awning.
Yeah.
Puts it over his head. Raised the linen folds, making an awning. He crouched knees out like an ape.
He goes sicko mode for sure.
Dude, I wonder if they have monkeyness, apeness, because they described not Scarus, the other dude, the fucking old man climbing the stairs like an ape, like a monkey.
Oh yeah.
Return to monkey.
Yeah, I mean, fucking we're monkeys. We came from them, kind of.
Yep.
And then Druid says flesh is their prison. I think they are made to be slaves of their base desires, and the Incoroi know exactly how to push their buttons with feathers.
Yeah, so they're slaves to their... That's kind of what you're saying, right?
I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just talking out of my ass.
It made sense to me when you said it.
That's cool. It's all about seeming smart. Just kidding.
The one that stalks around my Mara also swings around on trees like a chimp, says Druid. Damn, dude. Maybe they're the missing link.
Yeah, they are the missing link. Monkeys exist. Okay, so this is a very interesting interaction with this person. So they are about, like, all of a sudden Esmeralda is super trying to bone this dude. She's really excited, and then the vibe changes, and she's like, wait, no, you gotta pay me. And the guy says, sweet Sejanus, how much? She says 12 talents, because she's a 12 talent whore. And then he hesitates, but he says, alright, I'm down. But then he sees her mark and says, never mind, I'm not gonna do it. And she lowers her price, and then they have sex. But afterwards, amidst the black cum experience, she drops the coppers, which I think is cool. So it's like more evidence of her just really actually not being a whore anymore. She just drops the coppers. She doesn't have any fucking interest in having them. It's not that important to her.
Where's the black cum at?
It's right under that, because she shut her eyes, saw black seed smeared across her belly. Then she fled, truly alone.
Okay, so I thought that was her. She's being, like, weirdly hypersexual right now, right?
Yeah.
So
because she comes twice in, like, the span of 2 seconds.
Yeah. I think that she was, like... So it could be, like, pheromones from a fucking skin spy.
Mm-hmm.
Or Incoroi, because of the dude that banged her and he flapped away.
I think, the Incoroi are the pitch. The cum boys.
Yeah. So I thought that was this. She didn't actually have black cum on her belly this time. It was just like a flashback. She was like thinking about the memory. Because I kind of interpreted all this as like sort of like a PTSD response.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely to the one incident, but kind of you could argue her whole life, because she's like trying to use her sexuality to feel a sense of agency.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
I wrote psychosexual PTSD trauma reenactment dripping peach action.
Mm-hmm. That's an accurate synopsis.
And I think she tried to assert her, like, sense of self and her power. She was like, I'm gonna get money for it, even though I want to bang this guy.
Mm-hmm.
But then she wants to bang him so much that she just lets him drop his pennies on the ground instead.
Yeah, it's like a weird... her decision to want to get this guy to pay may be like her being a whore, coming back and being like, man, I don't even know how to really describe it.
It was also weird because when they first encounter each other, she said she thinks this time he smelled of sunburned skin. So I'm like,
well, she's runs into him
before.
She runs into him earlier.
Okay.
In a crowd.
But and she
smells his cinnamony fucking whatever.
Okay, gotcha. I was like, oh, does she like regularly bang this stranger?
I don't think so, but he's got a vibe. I think he's somebody in the console. But it could be either one.
She's a homie hopper.
Because she's like so hypersexual.
Oh yeah.
But then it makes me LOL, because if that is a skin spy, then he's a really good actor as well. Just like vibing, hamming it up.
Yelling,
sweet Sejanus! 12 talents, I can't believe this. You're a whore! And then afterwards, he says, by the gods, what have I done? Like, it's just funny if it's a skin spy. He's just fucking having such a good time.
Yeah, he's really going for it. Also, I like this description. She glimpsed a trail of wet stains, the shadow of his softening phallus.
Yeah, so descriptive.
Yep.
I totally see it.
I saw it too.
We have a lot of chat going on, and we're just rambling.
Well, we've got cum to discuss. Man apes the gods with sorcery. Damn, that's accurate and wordplay.
Yes.
Which kind of implies evolution. Maybe non-men remember humans being more apish.
Probably so.
And I'd like to know, like, what... I always just pay attention to anything they might mention. Like I said, here's the rub is like a phrase there. So you could, if you looked up the etymology of that phrase, you could, like, infer that there's all sorts of shit in Irarwa. Like, I think you said there was a Puritan something, or puritanical.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, there's Puritans from Massachusetts from the 1600s.
Plymouth Rock.
Yeah. But, not to be an asshole, I just think it's fun to picture stuff like that.
Yeah.
Kelpron quotes, grinning like a monkey, snarling like a dog, staring like a dew-eyed virgin. Always have a fun time trying to visualize that.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. Grinning like a monkey and snarling like a dog are pretty intense.
Virgins are known for their wet eyes.
Their dew eyes.
Do you want to read the next one?
Yeah, sure. Druid says, makes you think, depending on how long ago the Inkoy Haloinus landed, how did the Inkoroi, besides the Tusk, and the non-men before them, affect humanity's evolution? Yeah. Kella stating that the consult must win kind of makes me feel like the entire history of Yarwa was a 4D chessboard with a console and Dunyain and a Sarimber being the main players. Yeah. It's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's all, yeah. It's good. It's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
And Herm says, yes, the Skin Spies just have fun, dude. So jealous. No soul, love and life. Yeah, they're fucking not worried about it.
No thoughts, just vibes.
Yeah. Druid says, your rambling is why it comes to the stream equally off topic and on topic at the same time. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's sweet.
Bakker added the phrase beyond the pale and made it make sense in the stories. The pale is the last human land past Fuck, dude, I don't know what that was. Sir Karpash. Sakarpus?
Sakarpash? I bet it because he's using voice to text.
That's sick to write wordplay into the fucking...
Yeah.
That's,
should have been
next
working on his
level
dissertation and writing. Okay, let's keep rolling. Shall we?
Yeah. So, I don't know. After indulging in all this cum speak, what I got out of this was Sarcellus is being a weird animal sniffing her, but
he seemed to be.
Then he's
smelling her.
Oh, he was definitely smelling her, but I think he was excited about it. He wasn't like, he was like, mucuses, all the mucuses of copulation and
he
being
loves
a perv.
Stinky.
But then he's kind of mean to her, but then he just sobs and makes it, I don't know, tries to make up for it.
Yeah.
She says that he asks, was it a commune? And she hisses yes.
Yeah.
Just funny because...
She'd be lying.
Why? I wonder.
I don't know.
Does it try to assert power over him? Like...
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, it garners a reaction from him.
Oh, Druid says the horse lands. Yeah, the Sakarpai horse lords.
Oh, hell yeah. The horse lords.
Almost
as good as the two-hearted sons of Duniersis?
I think so.
No, the Holka. The
Holka.
two-hearted sons, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
Damn, dude. I need to study this and just memorize some stuff.
Yeah.
We should make a quiz. Yeah, she does, well, he starts sobbing after she says that, she banged a commune.
Right.
And he starts sobbing. I don't know if I said that right, but he also says, forgive me, Esme. Like, ask for forgiveness. And then she's like, but for what, Sarcellus, for what? Even though she just got slapped in the face, I think.
True, yeah. She's like...
Yanked around.
She's like, I can't believe that he cries for someone like me. It's a bummer.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, like... Oh, and then it ends off with him saying, I know you love him, and she was not so sure.
Maybe that is him trying to encourage her to reconnect with the commune so that he can get more mandate intel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Is that not... That's not smart. That's
no.
obvious.
I don't know if it's obvious or not, but that was like my
yeah.
theory, because, well, I didn't know why he went from acting mad to acting sad.
Yeah.
He wants to be on her good side,
or
her to be on whatever, because he wants to pump her for, sorry, pump, like as a source.
Right.
And if she's actually banging a commune, then he would want that.
Yeah.
But I think he probably knows that she's not.
Yeah. Yeah, because he knows. He knows
She's
what's
like,
up.
you can cuck me as long as you love him.
Mm-hmm. As long as you go talk to him about mandate shit.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I don't know. I'm not an elite skin spy, so I might not be able to relate to their lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good scene. And now we're going back to Proyas, like 2 days later or whenever. He's like, wait, never mind, I do want to see you, Okami, and I need you.
I just think of it as 5 seconds later.
Yeah.
But no, it is later. It's in the morning when he was grumpy.
Oh, what up, Meg? Yeah, Sergeant Salmon. I'm a fucking joined the military. Shaved my head. Yeah. In this light, I look like a sick worm. That's okay. What's up with you, Meg?
WURM.
Yeah, exactly. WYRM.
Oh, pardon me. Wrong.
Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. But yeah, Proyas realizes he needs a commune, and this is because old Skulvindi boy and Callus have arrived with Serway, and he needs a commune to come hang out. Why does he need a commune? He says it.
A commune's like, why are you summoning me? And Proyas goes, I didn't summon you. I summoned a mandate schoolman under the auspices of the treaty, blah, blah, blah.
Whoa, that's so annoying.
So he's like, well, I didn't actually want you to come. I just had to.
Yeah.
I had to invite you to my birthday party.
Right.
But I don't want you to show up.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, so.
I mean, it says he's found someone of interest. Or last night I received word from Zin's nephew. He's found someone of interest. Who? A Skilvendi. Skill Vandy.
Before we get too far, Jeff gave some good context. Being the cheater, Sarcellus is making sure that he is the guilt that she runs from to a commune.
Yeah, that's solid. That's solid.
Thank you.
The Skill Vandy. Yeah, Akka has some information.
Yeah, he's the Chigra. I feel like in this whole books, there's a lot of like the 5 minutes before the meeting starts.
Yeah, there is. There's lots
of like waiting room.
Yeah, fucking in the tent, in
doctor's office,
in the Great Ordeal, all the fucking meetings of the great minds or whatever the fuck, the holy men.
Gundles.
But yeah, because let's see, Akka knows stuff. He's of the world. He's been to Shima. Proyas can't believe it. You've been to Shima?
No fucking way.
No way, dude.
Been to Cabo?
I think they kind of
Panama City.
Panama City's
My
what's
bad.
up. They talk. They do their thing. They're back and forth. I love you. I hate you. I need you.
I want you to want me.
I want you to want me.
He kind of still. There's some. What's it called? A little battling over. Like, he actually needed a commune there. Like, besides him being a mandate schoolman, he wanted him specifically there.
He's his teacher.
Yeah. And he goes, eventually he gets to the fucking point, and he goes, last night I received word from Zin's nephew, Iriusis. He found someone of interest. Who? A Skilvendi.
Yeah. Skilvandy. And Commune says, I haven't seen a Skilvandy since 2,000 years.
Now that was a name that gnawed children's hearts.
Yeah, I love that. I love the Skilvandy.
Sorry for my accent.
That's okay, dude.
Definitely, Jeff, it is 5 minutes before the action happens. I just feel like in a lot of books it's like, it goes into them like the doors to the chamber open and people are walking in. There's no setup, which I enjoy. I'm not trying to knock it or anything.
Yeah, I enjoy it too.
But he's like, nah, Skilvendi don't join in Reethi Holy Wars. Why would you summon me here unless... Is he thinking that he thinks it might be like a consult ploy?
Maybe.
He is the only like worldly man that he trusts, but...
Yeah, I doubt that Proyas thinks it's any... console stuff. I don't think that's on his radar.
No, sure, but if a commune thinks that Proyas thinks it's for the console.
Oh, maybe. That's some Inception shit.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Deep brain. No, I mean, possibly. Yeah.
They have major domos.
Major domos. Yeah.
And the Skilvendi is showing up with companions, a man and a woman. Proya says, I know nothing more save that neither is Skilvendi, and the man says he's a prince. And what claims has the Skilvendi made? He claims to know the Fanem manner of war. He claims to have defeated them on the field of battle, and he claims he offers his wisdom to the holy war.
Mm-hmm. And he shows up all fucking cut up, giant, yoked, with his friends.
You can call them friends.
He said, or Kamian thinks, or actually maybe it's Proyas. So rarely is the look of a man a match for the rumor. But you look every bit as fierce as your people's reputation. Oh yeah, he's saying that to Nair.
I like how Nair just accepts compliments without responding.
Yeah, he does.
Like, they try to flatter him and he just takes it stone cold.
Well, Kamian says he probably thinks it's girlish.
Oh, true.
Or it's not mannish.
Yeah. You can't,
oh, yeah, he says,
be nice.
If I remember right, the Skilvendi have little patience for wry compliments. They think them unmanly. It's awesome. And then Nair kind of eyes Kamian a little bit. He's interested in him. He says, who is this? And a couple of times, Nair rakes Kamian with his eyes. His blue Skilvendi eyes. But I don't really know why. He's like, who the fuck is this?
Well, Druid says it's because he has a huge man crush on Nair.
Oh, yeah.
And half the Anoni and Confus do too.
True, yeah, they love him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's totally like voyeuristic. We have a token Skilvendi.
Yeah.
It's kind of...
I think he also kind of represents to them the, like, noble savage.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's the unfettered passion, like, they're men of war, but they have to be polite and fucking proper and everything, and this dude can just run around and rape and pillage and feels no regrets about it all.
Yeah, he's not worried.
Except for he has lots of regrets.
Yeah, he's not worried about that necessarily, but he's worried about a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
He says, I have come, Nair, to sell my wisdom and my sword. I thought this was an interesting order because he first says wisdom and then sword. Because Nair is smart. He is a tactical genius.
That's true. It's funny, like, he knows, like, he shows in the first battle and many other battles how much he knows, but the only thing he ever says about tactics is war is intellect.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just fucks on everybody who says that and blows people's minds.
But
they're like, I don't even know where we are.
we're just kind of talking about the Skilvendi. I don't know. I mean, there's not necessarily like a ton happening. It's a lot of people observing one another, thinking about just like summing each other up, taking stock of one another.
Seeing him from across the bar and trying to send him a drink.
Yeah.
Saying that we liked your vibe.
Yep. Proyas asks if Nair knows Kianian tactics. Nair says yes, and then he says, can you describe them to me? Blah, blah, blah. All the while, Kamian's kind of like, don't trust this dude. He's not trustworthy.
Yeah, because they fought with the no-god.
But then he explains that the Holy War is paralyzed, and Nair starts to understand the situation that Ikiri Confus is, or Zarias and Confus, I guess, are starving the Holy War. And at one point, Proyas suggests that Nair can be the Exalt General surrogate, and the Skilvendi shudders with what Akamian realized a heartbeat later was laughter. I like to think that the Skilvendi's laughter makes people, like, their heart, they like have a fear response to the Skilvendi's laughter.
Uh-huh.
Like Akamian's like heart is like racing. He's like, oh, that was a laugh. Yeah.
His laugh strikes fear into the hearts of men, into the two-hearted sons of the two-hearted Holka. Nair declares himself as Nair Erskiotha, chieftain of the Utamant, and Akamian is fucking tripping about that too, because the Utamant are, quote, a tribe from the northern extremes of the steppe, so they definitely have Shrank. Well, I think they might have some overlap with Shrank, but what I meant is that they have that proximity with Golgotarath, or the fucking... What am I talking about? The first aPODcalypse, and goes on to say that he thinks that the chief of the Skilvendi during the first aPODcalypse was of Utamant lineage.
Yeah.
So, like, perhaps he, Nair is sort of the corollary of Kellis being the Nassarimber 2,000 years later, that he is the Utamant 2,000 years later.
Yeah.
And they're just some bad motherfuckers.
It makes sense. And Akamian suggests that Proyas, instead of just jumping the gun and all of a sudden taking on Nair as the Exalt General's surrogate, Akamian says, ask him, why has he come here and who are the others? And Proyas glances at Akamian, which... Okay, so it says, Proyas glanced at Akamian, the chagrin in his eyes overmatched by the admission. So, Akamian is like the teacher in this moment, and Proyas, his ardor had almost duped him, and he knew it. He had almost brought a Skilvendi to his hearth without any hard questions. So this just is an example of Proyas' like boyishness, rashness, and just being a greenhorn.
That's true. I think he's so horny for his prowess.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
But
like any other Skilvendi that, I don't know, no other Skilvendi would show up, but any other one would fucking cut his head off in 2 seconds.
Yeah. And then, okay, this is kind of a while ago, but Jeff says everyone in Iarwa are savages, old world savagery times 10. True. Very, very violent. And then Kelp says, wonder if anyone's written Proyas and Nair fanfiction. I don't know why I automatically assumed erotic fanfiction. Well, but it doesn't have to be erotic.
Does it not?
I would hope it would be erotic, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
Where Proyas receives a literal explanation.
I don't know what you mean by that, I'm sorry.
I think I'm confused.
He breaks it down just real simple, like.
Yeah.
Like, tell it to me like I'm 5.
Yeah, treat us like idiots. And then Jeff says he was looking at Macho Man Randy Savage. It was like, you're on my team. I pick you. Yeah. Yeah. Nair commands the room. He cucks everybody. But he is the ultimate cucked.
Yeah.
The holy most cucked.
Perhaps the
dirt fucker, cuck lord.
Perhaps the cuck lord has been cucked himself.
Yes.
The hardest cucked the hardest.
Yes.
Someone stop us.
Well, we're almost done. And he says, why are you here? And then, oh fuckboy, Kellis says, I am the reason Nair has traveled here. Of course, he said it in a way more suave and whispery tone. It's like ultimate ASMR. Everything Kellis says, like, fucking reprograms people's brains.
Yeah.
And then...
everyone's wet.
Yeah, he says, I am Anderson Kellis, son of Moengus. And then Akamian's jaw does the, like, Looney Tunes go all the way to the floor thing.
You have to, like, it's got the blinds thing where you pull it back up and it rolls back up.
Yeah. Zynemus has to reach over and, like, pull his tongue back up.
Yeah. What?
And he's like, shit, this can't be. It's a prophecy. Yeah.
What if you just had a panic attack instead of, like, on the moment where, like, your one life's purpose is about to unfold, you just have a panic attack and, like, have a heart attack and die?
Yeah. I mean, that could happen. But yeah. And then he's like, Kellis does some talking. He says, I cannot speak for my blood, doing some humility, nor can I speak for what you do or do not believe. As for my appearance, all I can say is that my pilgrimage was hard. And he says, we have come to die for the tusk. And yeah, there it is.
Yeah. How could you have known of the Holy War, he's asked. And I think this is pretty important to a later chapter too. Kellis says, dreams. Someone sent me dreams. I mean, he was literally... Oh, well, it says, this cannot be. Someone who?
So, Cale Makar did this.
What?
I don't know why my computer started playing a hockey video, but...
Oh, yeah.
Cale Makar eats those waffle cookie things.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, the man, Kellis, could not answer. It's more like he would not answer.
Yeah.
Because it's literally Moengus that sent him the dreams.
Mm-hmm.
But he's all obtuse because he wants them to think that the God sent it to him. But he's not so egotistical to claim that either.
Yeah.
It's like, he's technically not lying.
Yeah, true. I know, that's the whole, like, ambiguity of Kellis, too. It's like, well, he's not really lying. He kind of is a hero. He kind of isn't. Does he want to save the world for selfish reasons? He's just a complicated character.
Yeah.
That's all I have. I'm tapped.
Yeah, me too. Let's catch up on the chat.
Yeah, let's see what's happening.
Jeff says that the holy cuck is Akka. Yeah.
Yeah, that is, you could argue that.
You are not wrong. I don't know if Nair was... He hasn't even been cucked out of Esmet or fucking Serwa yet.
True, not physically.
No. Yeah, she's already mentally, emotionally, spiritually hijacked.
I mean, she's wrapped around Kellis's waist in this scene.
Oh, true.
Which I found weird. I didn't notice that.
She's just hanging off of him until it's bedtime, and then he nuts and then goes to sleep and doesn't care about her for another 23 hours.
Mm-hmm. That's so weird.
It's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Where are we at?
Cool.
Oh, final line of the scene where Nair buggers Confus. Some things required literal explanation. You got it, man.
Yeah. And Jeff says, an aspect that maybe only I saw was everyone being like, who's this white prince? There are only like 4 white nations, which adds a level to why they doubt him. That's a very good point. I did not catch that. But yeah, he's a white boy.
Yeah. I guess that was...
Of course he's like, I'm the prince. I'm white Jesus. He's literally white Jesus.
Well, yeah, Jesus was white, so...
Well, sure.
He has to be white
of course.
in this book, too.
That's funny. No, that's a good point.
Yeah, it was like sort of in my mind somewhere, but it didn't really even cross it. Did not cross to the other side of my mind until you mentioned it, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. That's funny.
Druid says, that's something I miss and often forget. Kellis and his children are the whitest people on Iarwa.
Yeah.
The white devils of Iarwa.
Truly. What does Esmenet look like, do we think?
She's got brown skin. I think she's not as dark, doesn't have as dark a skin as a Kamian.
Yeah.
And then Mymara has less dark skin than Esmenet. Curly hair, maybe, I want to say.
Yeah.
Or like wavy, not like crazy. I might be just completely making this up.
Well, also, that maybe Kalmumus and the little fucking Dunyan spawn might be not quite as white. I don't know.
Yeah, they've probably got some sort of tannish, olivish appearance. Dark hair and brown eyes.
What?
Well, the Prince of Nothing wiki doesn't even mention her skin color in the appearance, which should definitely be updated. She's very attractive, and she has a tattoo, but other than dark hair and brown eyes... No, she's definitely like darker skinned.
Yeah.
I can't remember the regions and the different cultural races and stuff as well as other people can.
Yeah. Yeah, and Jeff has more good stuff to say. Do you want to read that?
Sure. It's ironic, the funniest aspect of the series. White Jesus fan fiction, but black people are being awesome off screen. I think that it's like intentional. I would guess that Bakker knew that too, kind of. Like,
yeah.
he was playing on the white savior trope.
It's gotta be, because that's like, if he didn't, then he's a fucking idiot.
To make it Aryan Nation, dude.
Yeah, it's like, then it's a nationalist, like, I don't know. I hope that's the case, and I think it is. And you definitely don't have to say you hate saying it, and I don't think anyone would take that the wrong way. It's a very important part.
We don't take it the wrong way.
No, not at all. It's good commentary on our society in general. Yeah, it's too on the nose to not be intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. On the nose.
On that nose.
On that white savior. White Jesus. Let's see.
I'm sorry, I'm spacey too.
No, that's good. For a while, a lot of people love to attack the series. I see that it's getting more popular nowadays. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, maybe this podcast can shine some different perspectives on it. And one of the things I noticed, like on the on our analytics on Spotify and Anchor and all that shit, it says that there's 0 women that watch, which is a bummer. I would like to be more inclusive or like inviting to everyone. I don't know. It's not a series that really, it probably is very easy to write. Or easy to read as a woman.
Yeah, and there was talk a couple episodes ago too where Bakker said straight up that he was writing it for a boy audience, or a man audience. I don't think he said boy, but,
yeah,
you know. And, like, he expected them to be his audience, and then he could fuck with their philosophy and psychology. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if more women liked it, but I don't know. Just have to attract rather than promote, perhaps.
Perhaps, yes. Drew says some popular booktube channels are also talking about the series and reading through it. That's good. Oh yeah, Jeff he's 12.
Sorry, I forgot about that.
He's got a kid.
Living a hard 12-year-old. Well, I don't know how hard, but busy for sure.
Gotten a lot done in those 12 years.
Yeah.
But that's good. I'm glad that it's gaining popularity, and maybe it can get some more exposure and invite just a wider audience.
Yeah.
And we can have fun talking about it.
Eventually, peer pressure through popularity, Bakker to write more. Of this series. Who knows?
And we have stickers.
Yeah, we ordered some stickers today.
250 of them,
which everyone on the audio version can see. We can post. I might post in the Reddit just the pictures that are what the source of the meme basically is that it's from. But Bakker skateboards. Ours got Bakker the author, but we'll have them in about a month, and we're gonna sell them for pretty cheap to try to make a little bit of money for a better camera and better microphone. I don't know. Appreciate all of the love, regardless.
Yeah, thanks for everybody for being here. We love you. It's so fun.
What kind of adaptation are we talking? I think maybe it might need to be animated.
Animated?
Well, I'm a weird anime phobe, but I feel like you could make all of the terror and shit so much easier if you were illustrating. Denis Villeneuve version would be epic as shit.
Yeah, it would. Good night, Druid. And yes, thank you. Thank you for the good luck. If Patricia doesn't go into labor before Thursday, we'll have a baby on Thursday.
Protathis will be negative. If she does not go into labor yet, Protathis will be negative 2 days old on next week.
Yeah, next pod. All right, let's go. Let's get out of here.
Truth shines. Praise the meat.
Love y'all. Grease it up. Stay pendulous. And good night.